Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the Be Your Own Webmaster YouTube series. This is an unscripted show, mostly unscripted, which I'll explain in a second. An unscripted show wherein I document a different tool, tip, or technique that will help you finally take control of your WordPress website. My name is Anthony Wagner, and I've been a WordPress webmaster for over 10 years. And in today's video, we are answering another WordPress Hub, which is a Facebook group, WordPress Hub user question. And I say mostly unscripted in this case because we're talking about SEO today and keyword optimization and organic traffic, things like that. It's such a big topic that I've recorded this video a few times, and it was so rambling that I needed to make some notes. So this is not a scripted version, but it's an outlined version, let's call it. So before we jump in, let me remind you that all of these videos in this series are built on WordPress, and my favorite tools for working with WordPress are Divi for theme and design and SiteGround for hosting. If you're looking for a robust, reliable, yet inexpensive hosting platform, SiteGround is my favorite. And if you're looking for an incredibly powerful but simple theme and design tool for your website, Divi is the way to go. You can check those links out in the description. Okay, let's move into the computer. Now, what I did in this case, it was driving me crazy. One of the things that kept messing up is that I kept getting messages on Facebook as I was trying to record this. People were trying to get my attention. So I took a screenshot. No more Facebook. I'm not logged in anymore. So, okay. Ramode is the user. And Ramode asks, Ubersuggest, the site audit from Ubersuggest, the results show that my site has 0 organic traffic and keywords. Why? Please help me. So Ubersuggest is a website built by Neil Patel's team that helps to benchmark websites for organic traffic, meaning traffic from search results, keywords, things like that. And this user is saying that the site has no organic traffic. So why? Okay. I asked here, you can see, can you share your site's URL? And Ramode did. And here it is, ztayfit.com. So as I jump into ZTayFit, I look to see, we're trying to figure out why this person isn't getting any organic traffic. What I notice is that it's a blog. It appears to be a blog, a fitness and nutrition type blog. And there are just, a few things that can happen to begin with. The first thing that I did was I ran this through a Whois tool. Whois is it's a tool that allows you to see kind of the registrar information for a website. So if you drop in the domain, it will tell you various pieces of information about the domain. So who registered it, how long it's been registered, how long it will be registered for, where it is registered, things like that. So I can see here, the first question I asked myself was, how old is this site? If it's brand new, that's a factor here. And in fact, it is. It is currently 9/15/2020, so September 15th. This says that it was registered in June 17th. So it's only been 3 months that the site has been active. And so I would say that's definitely a factor. Google is going to prioritize traffic for this niche or any niche from more aged sites that are around for longer. So that's a factor. It's not going to be the be all end all. Certainly you can get ranked fast, but that's a factor to consider. And then also the length of the registration can be a factor as well. So the fact that it's only registered for a year sends a signal to Google that maybe this user isn't so sure that they're going to be around. So those are some minor factors that I asked myself. But what I did was, okay, this isn't that old. Let's check out the oldest post on the site. And when I was testing this is kind of what I did. So don't think that the site's speed is indicative of its actual speed. My computer is just running a lot of stuff right now, so it's entirely possible that it's my computer's fault. Okay, so I went back to the oldest post just to see, because this would be the one I would think, the older posts have been around longer. They're going to be more likely to be ranking. So I'm going to close out of that screenshot just to get it out of the way. And then I clicked into the post itself, which is top 15 testosterone boosting foods you should eat. There are a few things that I can say. The first is, let's verify that the site and any of its pages are actually indexed, are actually showing up on Google. So the way that you do that, we're going to start just at the domain level. We'll come back to the whole post, but I just want to copy the domain out of here. I'm going to come to Google and I'm going to type site : and then I'm going to paste the domain. And if I start seeing results from ZTayFit, that tells me that Google has in fact seen the site at all. Okay, that's good. The next thing I will do is let's paste in the entire URL. So that specific page, has Google seen that page? And in fact, it has not, right? So part of the problem for remote on this particular site is Google hasn't indexed all of your pages. That's an issue, right? It's not being seen. I can confirm, so if I back up a level, right? So right here in the domain, I can see the slug, which is a WordPress term for this last little piece of the URL. If I back that out and just go to /nutrition, which is likely at the category level, it will probably give me a bunch of posts that have been categorized as such. Yes. So let's see, just to check if that category has been indexed. If anything in the nutrition category has been indexed. And in fact, they have. You can see here, like this pre-workout, all of these things, there are posts in that category that have been indexed. But well, I can tell you right now, I mean, how many posts are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I've got 6, and I don't have 6 here. It looks like 5. So that I just happened to pick the one that's not being indexed, and that's a problem. So part of your issue remote in this case is you're not actually getting Google to see your posts. The way you want to fix that is you want to come to Search Console. If I could spell search, that would be great. Google Search Console is the tool. You can come here and then hit Start Now. And if you haven't actually set this up, you're going to need to. There are going to be steps you'll need to walk through to get it set up. This is the Courage and Grow one, which again, this site has not done very much yet. So I've got very little data on it. It's relatively new. But you'll want to come to URL inspection. And in my case, I'm going to type in courageandgrow.com just to see if it's being indexed. And it should be, because I've already done this. Actually, what it says right here is URL is not on Google. So that's an issue, right? So what I would do with yours is I would put in the full URL for this blog post. And then what I'm going to do is choose request indexing. And then that should be what fixes it. Again, remember, this is a mostly unscripted show. So I don't know what the actual result is going to be, but this is the step that I would take to fix this problem. And I would actually have Google index the site. And I set this up. And one thing I'm noticing here is this is HTTP and not HTTPS. So it was added to the queue. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to search for I'm going to put in the actual full HTTPS domain and see if that one changes anything. It does not. So I'm going to actually request both. I don't know if it'll make a difference. But I'm going to request that both be indexed. And this is what I would do for any posts. Now, Google should be, especially if you submit a sitemap, you'll want to install an SEO plugin on your site. So if you don't have one, Yoast has been like the kind of the standard, but it's really starting to become dated, and I'm not happy with it anymore. So Rank Math is the one that I would install. Just search for Rank Math. It will come up. It is free. It's phenomenal. I'm very happy with this plugin. They update it constantly. It works incredibly well. So I would install Rank Math and go through their setup steps that will help make sure that your site is properly set up for SEO, for search engine optimization. So that's part of the problem. Now, let's come to a post and let's see. So let me just pick one that's been, okay, yeah, right here. Boost your brain power naturally. So the first thing I would say on this particular post is that maybe it was written by perhaps a non-native speaker of English, because this headline is a little bit awkward. Boost your brain power naturally by best 10 nutritious foods. This is not a great headline, just because it's a little bit awkward. I would probably reformat this headline just to see, and we're going to talk a little bit about headline optimization in a moment. We'll get to that, but we covered indexing, so that was number one. The second thing I wanted to talk about is keyword optimization. So I think part of the problem, I've checked this on a few different pages, and I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to close out of these other tools here because I don't need them. I'm going to check to see how these pages are performing keyword wise, right? So when you do search engine optimization, whenever I was writing blog posts, I always had a topic in mind, right? So I would decide I wanted to write on a topic, and then from there, I would write the headline next. That's always my second step. And I would write it with a specific keyword in mind. So it went topic, research a keyword, and then pick out and then write a headline. So in this case, I I think, and in this case as well, the keyword optimization isn't really happening. I think that's part of your problem. So I'm going to show you, this is a kind of a wishy-washy method. I'm going to show you a tool. Let's come to this particular post, this first one. Let's start here. I have a tool called Keywords Everywhere installed that I absolutely love that allows me to do keyword research in Google. So let me just give you an example of what it does. It's not free, but it's actually incredibly inexpensive. And if you're writing blog content and doing keyword research, totally worth it. Please, please, please consider this. I spent $10 months ago. It's so inexpensive. It's so worth it. So I'm actually going to pull out testosterone boosting foods. This is my experience talking. It seems like a good keyword to me. So I'm just going to run that through Google and see. So what's going to happen is that Google is going to now, with Keywords Everywhere, it's going to give me all this other stuff that you don't normally see. What I'm seeing here is 35,000 searches per month. This is relative. It's not exact. It just gives you an idea. People are spending money on ads, cost per click, and the competition is relatively low. This is out of 1.00, so 0.06 is pretty low. So testosterone boosting foods seems to be a pretty good keyword to optimize for. So let me actually run an analysis on this page. And what this does is it actually will run through and pull out all of the repeated phrases and show me where they're found, their density, and how many occurrences there are. And it will give me that information that I was seeing here. Just as an aside, I'm kind of going backward. I'm picking out a post specifically and then checking for keywords. You would want to do the keyword research first. It will avoid having to go back and fix things. So what I want to do is I'm going to filter by density. So I see top 15 testosterone boosting foods. It seems like this person has used this keyword a lot, but my thinking is testosterone boosting foods is a much better one. So I could search, by volume and see that some of these are really problematic because they're way, way too high in volume. You don't want anything that's getting that many searches. You're never going to, especially with a site that's got this low authority, never going to rank for these things. So I would check for keywords elsewise. So T-level is interesting. That's another keyword. It's getting 9,900 searches per month. There is cost per click, meaning there are people running ads and there is some competition. If I search for that keyword, this is another interesting keyword. So one that might want to consider optimizing for, perhaps in another post to dig into T-level. But I definitely think that testosterone boosting foods, let's see, it's right here. This is the keyword to optimize for in this case. So it's got a decent density, meaning typically the best practice is between 1% and 2%, meaning for every 100 words or so, you're getting 1 to 2 instances of the keyword. So the longer your post is, the more occurrences there would be. So this post has 8 occurrences, but the problem is Google's not indexing this page. So that's another piece of the puzzle, right? This post might start ranking once Google indexes it. That's another piece of the problem. So optimizing for keywords. So this post, boost your brain power naturally by best 10 nutritious foods. I'm not even looking elsewhere because the keyword needs to appear in the headline for sure. So when I say boost your brain power naturally by best 10 nutritious foods, I'm not really sure what the keyword is there. I'm going to run an analysis on this page, and I haven't done this one at all. I will give you a little tip. I did this one before the video, so I knew what was going on there. This one, I have no idea. I haven't run it all. So let's just filter this by density and see what stuff comes up. Boost your brain power. See, the problem is that's not a good keyword, right? If I'm looking for health and fitness information, like fitness and nutrition, I'm not typing into Google boost your brain power. That's not going to get anywhere, right? Best nutritious foods, maybe. I would probably, so now I'm going to come to Google and I'm going to say best nutritious foods and see how that keyword comes back. 1,300 per month. Okay, this is a much better keyword for sure, and it's going to get me a better chance of ranking on Google because it's got some folks are there is cost per click, and there's some that, this actually got pretty high competition, but it's still a better keyword for sure. But this is going to lead me naturally into the next, and I got lucky with this one. I wasn't planning this, but this leads me naturally into the last topic here is headline optimization. This headline is not great. It's not great for a couple of reasons. One, it's worded awkwardly. It's not a great headline. And again, I attribute that maybe it's not a native English speaker who's written that headline. That's my guess. So kind of watching out for that. And then also, it's just probably not the best headline. So we're actually going to run it through one of my favorite tools, which is CoSchedule's Headline Analyzer. It's free. It looks like this. And the first time you run a headline through it, it's going to require you to put in some information, but then it will remember you and you won't have to do it again. But it is totally free. So I'm going to drop this in and see how this ranks. Now, it might, because it's not looking at the actual English, it actually rates pretty well. You're looking for a score of at least 70. And then what I will do is I will come here and I will run headline after headline after headline through this until I get it up where I want it. My mind says to reformat this as 10 best nutritious foods. And again, I'm putting that keyword that I researched in, right? Also, I didn't mention with this is that I can get all these other keywords and actually load the metrics on them. So I can see our other, like list of nutritious foods to eat every day. That's a decent keyword in and of itself, which is surprising. It's a long tail keyword that's getting quite a lot of searches. That might be something I'd write on. Healthy foods to eat. That's another one. So I can get other ideas if I can't figure this out. And these are also these are directly related, and these are other searches that people are doing that I can get keyword information on. I probably wouldn't do things. Why do I feel better after eating a banana? I'm probably not going to do that because there's no searching on it. Anyway, back to this. So I'm putting that exact keyword, best nutritious foods, in my headline, 10 best nutritious foods to naturally boost your brain power. It changes the focus. It puts best nutritious foods up front. It's also a list. I'm going to analyze it. I don't know how much better it's going to be. Okay, it's exactly the same. It's definitely better because it's worded better. This is checking for a set of keyword. It's checking for a set of criteria, but it's not checking for like, how do humans interpret this? I'm actually going to delete the word your because I wonder if the length is a little bit, if it's a little too long to naturally boost brain power. Let's see. That brought it up a little bit. So the length, shortening it is good. So I would keep doing this until I brought the headline up. They also give some other tips. So emotional, I'll show you this. I'm going to click on this, what makes emotional headlines so powerful. And then there's actually a guide in here that I can just click, and it gives me a bunch of words that I can start putting in to boost my headline score. So this is a way, I mean, I would be satisfied if I got to this. I probably would be satisfied with this and take this 10 best nutritious foods to naturally boost brain power. I think that's pretty good in and of itself. So I would reformat the headline, but you're going to want to start thinking keyword, like topic, keyword, headline before you write any content. So you're not having to try to retrofit your headlines back. So just as a quick recap, some things to look at in terms of your organic reach. Giving it time, consistent writing. Those are like the first thing, right? Your site is relatively new, and giving your site time to age and to be putting out consistent content. That's first. Second is some other SEO strategies, just general SEO, making sure you're writing quality content, which it looks like this site is, and making sure that your site is speed optimized, which I did test, and it is. So those factors are good. And then making sure that those three basics are covered, making sure that your site is indexed properly, having an SEO plugin that handles site mapping and all that stuff, making sure that you're optimizing for keywords, and then optimizing your headlines. Those are big. There are other strategies that you definitely could consider working on. There's a whole host of things, whether you start sending paid traffic to your site to build a user base so folks are coming to you. The more traffic you get, the better your organic rankings will be because Google sees that as an authority. You could also start trying to get backlinking strategies. That's another strategy I've seen wherein people you try to start getting folks, you collaborate with them to link, but doing so in a real way, not like doing sketchy stuff like, hey, I'll trade you, and having like garbage, like I'm in a nutrition thing and I'm going to go to an online marketer and say, hey, would you trade links with me? That doesn't work. Google is smarter than that. So doing things in an organic way, those are other strategies that are helpful. So that's kind of a lot of stuff, but these are the things I would start checking is, those big three things: indexing, keyword optimization, headline optimization, and then, especially indexing, make sure your site's up. So I know that I threw quite a lot of information at you all at once, but I genuinely hope that this helps you to feel a little more in control of your WordPress site and helps you on your journey to becoming a WordPress webmaster. If you have any thoughts, comments, questions, I'd love to hear what you think down below in the comments. I also would love to hear if you'd have any questions for additional videos. I will create videos on all kinds of topics, so feel free to ask. If I know, I will help. Also, remember, as I said at the beginning, SiteGround and Divi are such amazing tools for building WordPress websites. So I highly encourage that you check those out. The links are in the description below. And if you're interested, I encourage you to use my links because they are affiliate links. And that means that I will generate a small commission if you do end up making a purchase. And those commissions very much help to support continued production of this show. Plus, they're amazing tools, and I use them myself, so I wouldn't recommend them otherwise. In any case, I greatly appreciate that you've been here, and until next time, my name is Anthony Wagner, and I am so glad that you've shared this time with me. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.